Hello, you're listening to Book of the Day. I'm Chloe Veltman. Joe Manchin has long been a hard-to-pin-down kind of guy. The former West Virginia Democratic senator turned independent was, over the years, a thorn in his party's side. He voted against Democratic Party lines on issues like climate change, and he backed Trump nominee Brett Kavanaugh for a seat on the Supreme Court. In his new memoir titled Dead Center, Manchin explains why centrism is so important to him. He spills about his years in the Senate and his quest to defend West Virginia priorities, like coal mining. Manchin spoke with NPR's Michel about his life and politics and told her what the country really needs right now is an independent party in charge. That's ahead.
Support for this podcast and the following message come from Betterment. Don't just imagine a better future. Start investing in one with Betterment. Betterment helps people and small businesses put their money to work by automating to make saving simpler, optimizing to make investing smarter, and building innovative technology backed by financial experts. So be invested in yourself. Be invested in your business. Be invested in better with Betterment at Betterment.com. Investing involves risk. Performance not guaranteed.
How to describe Joe Manchin? To many Republicans, the now retired West Virginia senator was an occasional ally. To many diehard Democrats, he might have been a troublesome rogue who couldn't be counted on. But before Manchin served in state office and 15 years in the U.S. Senate, first as a Democrat and then as an independent, he was just the Joe. In his own view, just a man trying to bring common sense to sometimes nonsensical politics. He tells us all this in a new memoir that he opens with a walk to the White House in December 2021. Manchin says then President Biden had called him over because Biden really needed Manchin's vote in order to pass the Build Back Better bill. Manchin said he told the White House he found it too expensive and thought it reinforced what he saw as an entitlement mentality. He says he wasn't the only lawmaker who thought so. As Manchin tells it, words were exchanged, and that was followed by a statement from the White House name-checking Joe Manchin as the holdout.
That's when I went off.
Was this always a concern of yours? You've been in public life for some time. I mean, you were in state office before that, as we said. Has it gotten bad?
It got really bad. And I'll tell you when it really got to a level that I knew that my family was targeted. So I had to hire some security there, private security, to protect my family for a period of time. Thank God we were able to do it.
Yeah. When did that start?
When I really, me personally, was with the Build Back Better, BBB.
Really?
Yeah.
So you really felt that was the first time when you'd been in public life that you'd been threatened?
That was the first time that I've ever felt that there could be violence. I've always thought there was going to be people that raise their voices and maybe try to attack you or fight you or something of that sort, but I never really worried about that. I thought I could always take care of myself, so I never looked at it as a threat.
What do you think is the origin of all this?
Well, I think the visceral hatred that we have out there, basically both parties are guilty of and I say it's a business model. This is a duopoly of Democrat and Republican Party. That's why I'm fiercely proud independent right now that I can work with both sides.
You wrote in the book, I have watched the Democratic Party leave me and my state, and I have watched the Republican Party lose itself to one man. Can you just say more about that?
The party didn't make me. I'm the person I am. And I had my dad had great friends who had an R by their name, and I just saw nothing but kumbaya. They were all good buddies, had different ideas. So I never looked at it that way.
When you say, I've watched the Republican Party lose itself to one man, what do you mean by that?
Well, one person can't always be right on everything. First of all, let me just tell you, I know President Trump. The first 2 years I worked with him as probably closer than any Democrat because he knew that I think one time he and I kidded around. I says, well, I'm a Democrat like you used to be a Democrat, a conservative Democrat. We ought to all work together. So when they come to me with different things and social services and this and that really comes right back to the BBB, there was so much giveaway. There was no one held accountable and responsible. If you want to get a person out of generational poverty, help them work themselves up. Change the financial cliff, the welfare cliff, to a slope. Let them work with some services until they get to a mean wage.
Is it possible, though, that part of it is that your view of politics is shaped by the fact that West Virginia is a very distinct place? Everybody knows everybody. Like there's 6 degrees of separation. That just isn't the reality that a lot of people have. And a lot of your colleagues are working in very different environments. Is it possible that there are just things about their context that you don't understand?
Well, I'm sure of that. But a lot of people are able to work in their comfort zones. Think about my state. the least diverse state in the nation, the whitest state in the nation, okay? And here I am, coming from an immigrant family, being a Catholic, in a state that basically, that's not the norm. So I know this, if you work hard and you try to give back more than what you're willing to take out, they're going to accept you. They love you. You'll be fine.
You know, you have a whole chapter called I Got It Wrong. That was interesting. The one that really stood out to me is around Brett Kavanaugh's confirmation to the Supreme Court. You said the decision to vote for Brett Kavanaugh did not just create problems for me professionally. My granddaughter, Kelsey, was living with us at the time and working on my campaign. You said that when you got home that day, she was rolled into a ball and cried for hours. Mm-hmm. And you said that many volunteers working on your campaign quit over that vote. Do you think you were wrong on that vote?
No, not at all.
So it's not this isn't something you got wrong.
I had more.
Yeah.
No. What I got wrong is not understanding how personal this was to so many people. I should have done a better job of explaining, and I tried to. I would have hoped that basically the FBI report could have been made public, and it should have been made public, because I went by that, and I went by also talking to people that had personal relationships with Brett Kavanaugh. I just couldn't see destroying a person's life when I could not find the evidence as he was being charged with.
Well, he wasn't charged criminally. I mean, it was destroying a person's life, not giving them a job that they want.
Oh, no, I think at that point in time, you're pretty much, that would be pretty much destroying from the standpoint. Mm-hmm. If he was not able to, because they thought, well, that must be all factual. There was nothing factual that I could see.
Oh, he was still on the bench, though. He still would have been on the bench. He just wouldn't have been on the Supreme Court.
He was on the circuit, yeah.
Yeah, he was on the circuit. Nobody was offering to impeach him. They were just saying that he wasn't fit for that job. Yeah. All right, anyway. But your point is, the reason that that's in that chapter is that you felt what? That political figures like yourself...
I was wrong in not understanding how emotional this was, how much this meant to so many different people, the way they were affected by it. Mm-hmm. And I voted my conscience. Mm-hmm. And I voted the facts that I had in front of me.
What are you hoping to do with this book at this point? I mean, you report in some detail on some really, tough conversations you had with people. I was just wondering, are you settling scores here, or is there something else that you are hoping to accomplish?
Not at all, no. I don't think, if you read that book, it's not a tell-all book. It basically explains how you get to these difficult situations coming from a little coal mining community in Farmington, West Virginia, and being able to sit there in the White House and being just coming after you all the time in different ways they can with the power of the office. And this is not just with Joe Biden, which I've known for quite a while, and I think the world of him. We just disagreed, and I just never knew him to be that far left as his administration had moved, and I told him that.
That's Joe Manchin. He's the former senator from West Virginia, and he's the author of the new memoir, Dead Center, in Defense of Common Sense.
This message comes from Schwab. Everyone has moments when they could have done better, like cutting their own hair or forgetting sunscreen, so now you look like a tomato. Same goes for where you invest. Level up and invest smarter with Schwab. Get market insights, education, and human help when you need it. Learn more at schwab.com.
Support for NPR and the following message come from Boll & Branch. Turn your bed into a sanctuary this fall with their buttery, breathable bedding. Enjoy 15% off your first set of sheets at BOLLandbranch.com with code NPR. Exclusions apply. This comes from NPR sponsor Sierra. How businesses connect with customers defines their brand. Sierra is the platform for building better, more human customer experiences with AI. No stock answers, no hold music, just real solutions fast. Visit Sierra.ai to learn more.